Hi, I am Mark Joseph Domingo from Technological Institute of the Philippines. I am presenting you my proposed project, Santo Cristo General Hospital. Chapter 1, Introduction. 1.1, The Project. Hospitals are one of the most important pillars of any society. They are the physical execution of one of the pillars that form the infrastructure of a nation, the healthcare. An adequate number of hospitals in a country, with the number of equipments and facilities in each, denote the kind of care and concern of the government has for its citizens. Hospitals are an essential part of the health system development. External pressures, health system shortcomings, and hospital sector deficiencies are driving a new vision for hospitals. In this vision, they have a key role to play to support other healthcare providers and for community outreach and home-based services, and are essential in well-functioning referral network. Hospitals should reflect the needs and values of the communities in and around them. Effective hospitals are designed for their users with attention to the needs of special populations such as children and the elderly. A well-designed hospital environment maximizes the effectiveness of clinical care delivery and enhances the well-being of patients and hospital staff. 1.2 Problem Statement. San Jose del Monte's total population as of 2018 is 574,089, and there are only 8 hospitals, 7 private and 1 public, that are giving its services to its people. For me, 8 hospitals cannot accommodate 574,089 people, especially when some kind of pandemic comes. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, Central Luzon is number 3 on the death count in Philippines in 2018, and San Jose del Monte is the highest death count in Bulacan from January to August 2020. The 2 highest cases in San Jose del Monte is dengue fever and measles. The possible reasons are there are no accessible hospital or clinic to give vaccines, or the people cannot afford the high price of vaccines in private hospitals. In this study, I want to build a hospital that can help the patients as much as the medical professionals who are treating them, to give comfort to the medical professionals so that they can do comfortably what they vowed as a professional. 1.3 Project Objectives. Number 1. To accommodate the number of people within the area. Number 2. To design the specific areas and rooms to help professionals relieve stress. Number 3. To provide more accessible hospital to the people within the area. 1.4 The client. This section comprises a brief discussion about the profile of the client. This section also includes historical overview, organizational chart, mission, vision, issues and aspirations of the client supporting the need for the proposed project. 1.4.1 Background of the client. MPIC is a Philippine-based publicly listed investment management and holding company registered with the Philippine Securities Exchange Commission. MPIC is a leading infrastructure holding company with a diverse set of assets held through our operating companies. Through acquisitions and strategic partnership, MPIC seek to create value by upgrading infrastructure, improving operational efficiency, increasing customer coverage, and working closely with regulators and other partners of the government. 1.4.2 Mission, Vision, and Goal. The overarching objective of the MPIC investment and management strategy is to create value for the stakeholders by achieving long-term economic success while contributing to inclusive and sustainable development of the nation. This map identifies the location of our major assets and operations in the Philippines, providing an overview of the markets we serve at national, regional, and local levels. 1.4.3 Organizational Chart. This is the organizational chart of MPIC. 1.5 Project Scope and Limitations. The scope of the study encompasses the development plan and design of the proposed Santo Cristo General Hospital. The aforementioned plan and design classified under Health Institution Project were made in pursuance to prescribed functional programs and in conformance to the applicable codes observing the appropriate architectural practices. 1.6 Design Process. Step 1. Study the client brief. Step 2. Research. Step 3. Brainstorm. Step 4. Sketch. Step 5. Concept development. Step 6. Revisions. Step 7. Completion. Chapter 2. Site Analysis. 2.1. This is the site selection criteria table. 2.2 Macro Site Analysis. The region of Central Luzon is located north of Manila, the nation's capital. Bordering it are the regions of Ilocos and Cagayan Valley to the north, National Capital Region, Calabarzon, and the waters of Manila Bay to the south, South China Sea to the west, and Philippine Sea to the east. Administrative Division. Central Luzon comprises 7 provinces, 2 highly urbanized cities, 12 component cities, 160 municipalities, 3,102 barangays. This is the strategic location map of the Central Luzon. 80% of the population of Central Luzon is Roman Catholic. Other religions represented are Protestants, Islam, Iglesia ni Cristo, and indigenous religions such as Anitism. 2.3 Microsite Analysis. San Jose del Monte, officially the city of San Jose del Monte, often called SJDM, is a first-class component city in the province of Bulacan, Central Luzon. According to the 2007 census, it has a population of 439,090 people, making it the largest local government unit within the province of Bulacan and Central Luzon, and the 18th most populated city in the Philippines. The city is home to some of the biggest resettlement areas in the Philippines, like the Sapang Palay Resettlement Area spread over 36 barangays, Pabahay, 2,000, in Barangay Muson, and Towerville in Barangay Minuyan proper. Slopes of 3% to 8% are extensively found in the city, particularly on the western half. Slopes of 30% to 50% comprise the smallest portion of the total land area. The city is divided into 59 barangays, which handle governance in a much smaller area. These barangays are grouped into 2 districts. 23 barangays comprise the first district, while 36 compose the second, commonly known as Sapang Palay, and the city has Lone District, which is represented by a congressman in the country's House of Representatives. In this table, we can see that Barangay Santo Cristo has a slope range of 0 to 3%, a level to nearly level. And this is the climate data for San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan. 2.4 Initial Schematic Design. The proposed site is at Barangay Santo Cristo, San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. The site's slope range is 0 to 3%. It is level to nearly level, a good site to build a medical facility. The proposed site is along a national highway, so it is accessible via public transportations. Chapter 3 Design Inputs. 3.1 Design Standards. The references I used In the design standards are time saver standards for building types and National Building Code. 3.2 Building Systems. This section composes of the Utility Services unit that is made up of four major groups: electrical services, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning or HVAC, plumbing and heating, and steam plant. The Utility Services unit assists in the construction, design, and coordination of utilities for major projects and the coordination of services outages for those projects as well as regular maintenance or system repairs. 3.3 Special Allied Services. I also use as reference the standards given by the Department of Health of the Philippines. 3.4 Case Study. For further understanding of the study, the researcher made use of different reading materials related to the proposed Santo Cristo General Hospital. This research material is essential in broadening the knowledge of the researcher. 3.4.1 Review of Foreign Literature. Based on the hospital architecture in China, through comparison between Chinese and Nordic hospital design research by Jingju in 2015, through the thesis I made further understanding about the hospital design, especially in the aspect of humanization, which I think I can be further developed. The thesis provides a perspective to look into the hospital design by comparing with different countries. It offers a big background which even refers to politics, while ends with a practical proposal in an architectural way. According to the Sustainable Hospital Buildings Graduation Report, Master Real Estate and Housing Research by Isabel Cras in 2011, the first problem defined concerns the comprehension of the term sustainability. In practice, can be concluded that number 1, sustainability is perceived as an umbrella term. Number 2, on the other hand, healing environment is a more and more accepted and applied theory in hospitals. Number 3, budget always seems to be the restricting factor to implement sustainable measures. In accordance to the Macau Island Hospital, Innovation in the Healthcare Industry by Angela Lee, Kenneth Webb, Andrew Yeager in 2015. With relevance to the above consideration in clinical laboratory design and planning, similar concepts are adopted as part of the architecture and interior planning of the new Macau Hospital in Macau. 3.4.2 Review of Local Literature. In accordance to Public-Private Partnership (PPP), a case study of the Philippine Heart Center for Asia, researched by Jonah Marie Bentihaba Bautista in 2012, PhilHealth is not always the answer to the problem. Yes, it provides benefits, especially to the poor, but it will be used by the government as an scapegoat to be able to provide the basic service of health. Blaming the Filipinos for paying a high price for health just because they do not possess a PhilHealth card is just plain wrong. Because in the first place, health is not a product. It should have never been paid with a high price. According to the Bright Green Hospitals case study of hospitals' energy efficiency and flexibility in the Philippines, researched by Joy Dalmasio Villanes, Zheng Ma, Bo Jorgensen in 2018, hospitals can generate attractive savings by reducing electricity consumption. However, the design of Bright Green hospitals is more complex than other commercial buildings because hospitals consist of specialized departments and critical machines that require reliable electricity all the time. Energy management practices with intelligent technologies, design, and processes for energy efficiency and flexibility without compromising occupants' comfort are also discussed. Based on the University of Perpetual Health System Dalta Molino 3, Bacoor, Cavite, Hospital thesis by John Joseph Pass in 2010, deficits in hospital care quality were common in all countries. Improvement of hospital work environments might be a relatively low-cost strategy to improve safety and quality in hospital care and to increase patient satisfaction. Chapter 4: Architectural Programming. 4.1 Architectural Design Development. 4.1.1 Site Planning and Site Programming. This is the hospital site development plan. The total lot area is 47,818 square meters. The total gross floor area is equal to building height limit multiplied by the 60% of the total lot area, which is 15 meters times 28,690 square meters equals to 430,362 cubic meters. The maximum allowable PSO or percentage of site occupancy is 23,909 square meters. The maximum allowable ISA or impervious space area is 9,563 square meters. Maximum allowable unpaved open is 14,434.5 square meters. The maximum allowable construction area or PSO plus ISA or 23,909 square meters plus 9,563 square meters equals 33,472 square meters. 4.1.2 Building Space Program. This is the organizational chart of my proposed hospital. User analysis. This is the minimum required spaces given by the Department of Health. The admin service. The clinical service. The nursing and ancillary service. Space adjacency. This is the adjacency matrix of the emergency room. This is the adjacency matrix of the whole building. This is the block plan for the emergency room. 4.1.3 Design Constraints. The biggest weakness of the site is it is near a river. There is a possibility that the water may rise if heavy raining occurs. This may be avoided by planting vegetations near the river so that the vegetation can absorb some of the water that rose from the river. It can also deflect the odor that comes from the river. 4.1.4 Initial Design Translation. Design Concept. Modern Architecture. Modern architecture or modernist architecture was an architectural style based upon new and innovative technologies of construction, particularly the use of glass, steel, and reinforced concrete. The idea that form should follow function, functionalism, an embrace of minimalism, and the rejection of ornament. Design philosophy. Form follow function. The phrase form follow function became a battle cry of modernist architects after the 1930s. The credo was taken to imply that decorative elements, which architects call ornament, were superfluous in modern buildings. Design considerations. Number 1. Accessibility. Building is designed to accommodate people with disabilities. Number 2. Compliance. Compliance to law and design standards. Number 3. Efficiency. Efficient use of energy and resource. Number 4. Experience. Interactions between the user and the design. Number 5. Flow. Movement of people and vehicles does not cause congestion. Number 6. Orientation. Consider the sandpath and wind. Number 7. Proximity. Closeness of spaces and things. Number 8. Security. physical and information security. 4.2 Design features. 4.2.1 Architectural character. Modern architecture is based on idea which is created by lines, basic shapes, and forms. The simple, plain, rectangular shapes, geometric forms, and linear elements make up the main characteristic of the modern architecture. The researcher will take advantage of the simple and plain features of the modern architecture to increase the functionality and accessibility of the proposed project. 4.2.2 Innovation. Welcoming design aesthetic. Good design should reflect both the region and the visual and cultural ethos of the institution. Drop-off and parking. There is no better way to feel that you are being taken care of, pampered even, than by eliminating all worry of arrival, drop-off, and parking. Internal wayfinding. When architecture, medical planning, interior design, and environmental graphics harmoniously blend, a first-time visitor can walk through a space without the aid or "you are here" maps. A better waiting area. The same holds true for check-in desks and waiting areas. Use the spaces and their visual identities to intuitively help patients navigate. Pleasant clinical environment. Patients and staff benefit from well-designed space. Healthy building equals healthy occupants. Healing happens inside the hospitals, and the building itself should participate in that healing process. Dignified discharge. Finally, consider how to give a dignified exit for patients who are leaving the hospital but still require assistance. 4.2.3 Highlights. Number 1. Hospital layout is designed around clinical adjacencies to ensure it is highly functional. Number 2. Patient-oriented design that promotes health and well-being. Number 3. Whenever possible, natural daylight is introduced and views to the outside are provided. 4.2.4 Material concept. Glass. Glass is a non-crystalline, often transparent amorphous solid that has widespread practical, technological, and decorative use in, for example, window panes, tableware, and optics. Steel. Steel is an alloy of iron with typically a few percent of carbon to improve its strength and fracture resistance compared to iron. Many other additional elements may be present and added. Reinforced concrete. Reinforced concrete, also called reinforced cement concrete, is a composite material in which concrete's relatively low tensile strength and ductility are counteracted by the inclusion of reinforcement having higher tensile strength or ductility. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening and have a good day.